Welcome back to SFR. This is round 7 for the championship. My name is LT Indigo. Alongside me today is Oliver. How are you doing, mate? You alright?
Yes, glad to be back in the comms box with you again, Indigo. Yes, apologies I could be here last week due to the fact I was unwell. But I'm back with you, hopefully for the remainder of the season. Hopefully not due to because of illnesses or anything like that. But yeah, I'm very glad to be with you again.
Yeah, same with you, mate. Last time I had Rogue Smithy with me in the commentary box, who is now racing on the track after a 2 race ban from Monza onwards, and hopefully he can get his season underway as he's learnt his lessons in the past and try and help his teammate in the constructors as they desperately need it, because MDJ is currently leading the Drivers' Championship by only 2 points. And he hasn't had a win this season either, has MDJ. Harry Kane is second place, the man who won in Singapore last time out, who is 2 points away, and Glock is in P3, who hasn't got a win either. Layers are falling backwards into P4 after Monza hasn't really gone his way, has it, unfortunately for him, but hopefully in USA he can come back a lot stronger. Bear Remy, who's having a lot more pace it seems, but unfortunately in the last race back at the Singapore Grand Prix didn't plan his overtakes at the right time and therefore led to some contact and fell down the order. He could have scored a lot of points back in Singapore but didn't have a good result in the end. We have Martin, who's 6th in the championship, ahead of Mackett. We're on board with this man who's currently P2 on the track so far and currently P7 in the standards. Atlas Copo, who's had a great season so far. Drauken, who started to have his season underway after the last few races being in P4 then finishing in P3 back in Singapore. Now we've got Mackey coming towards the final 2 corners then, so let's see how he progresses as all the viewers are coming to the stream, so let's have a look to see what he does. And evening boys, glad you put your purse away, Oliver, as on board back we go then on the soft compound tyres. Let's see what happens as we make our way uphill off camber into turn 1. You can't really see up the hill until you get to the corner. Want to kiss the apex on the entry there, back on the throttle immediately, a bit of wheel spin flat out through turn number 2, and now we're coming towards Maggots and Beckett's-esque, flick it in, left right, constantly change of direction. Then we slow down for the next part at turn 6. We flick it into the left hander once again, right in the curve on the apex, and let's see how he does through turn 8 and turn number 9 there, using all the curve, carrying a minimum speed through. Up the hill we go towards turn number 9, and now we're coming towards the heavy braking zone at turn number 10, braking before the 50-metre board, slow the car down, get the car rotating, back to the throttle we go then, immediately on the power after the corner. DRS enabled for the second DRS zone here, but we'll see multiple overtakes happen down the straight. Remember, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll crashed there back in 2022, I believe it was, when they weren't teammates, and now we're heading down into the heavy braking zone down at turn number 12. And now 13 into this left-hander, but Rogue Smithy has already been disqualified from qualifying already, having to park in a dangerous location, so he's already out of qualifying and not the redemption he needs to make, it seems. Has got Mackey coming towards the triple right-hander as the Aston Martin got very close there for good measure. Now coming towards the Brunswick corner at turn number 20, or a bit squirrely on the exit there as we head through turn number 21. In fact, it is turn 20 because only turn 20 turns on the track as he goes quickest with a 32.5.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for Rogue Smithy there, having a disqualification literally on his first run on the wet tyres. So he was going to go for literally a proper banker lap on the wet tyres to get his delta time up and running. So as the top still starts to come in now, MTJ and with a 32.8. Logan on his banker, which is a 36.7, he could definitely much improve. Zenon, about to come through now, he just popped into third with a 34.5. Martin as well in the Mercedes, he's just about to come in, he's in the final sector now. There's a 1.27 in the second sector. Now into this very technical section of sector 3. So not looking too bad. That Mercedes looking very stable. Let's see how this lap presumes. I'm thinking around the top 5, well, possibly most likely top 5 for Martin, but how high up in the top 5? 3-1. Not so bad of a lap there.
Not bad indeed for Martin in P3 there. A tenth ahead of Noldus in the Aston Martin there with MDJ, the championship leader currently in P2 then. We've got multiple drivers on a flying lap then as they proceed to go around the track. We've got Harry Kane coming up towards turn 1. I believe we've got McLaren heading around the final corner to go into P6 at JDM with a 33.6 on those medium compound tyres. Same as Smoke down there in P9 also on the mediums. We've got Harry Kane flicking his way through in the first sectors. Hazara smashed the time already by 5/10 in the Aston Martin. Incredible already.
Well, there you go. There's a 33.0. Absolute monstrous black. Glock's about to come through next in the other Mercedes. This is Martin's teammate. So let's see how he does around the final turn. Just looking at a very strong lap here. Very strong to put in P2. 32.1. Very good lap.
It is indeed. And last time Hazara raced around here was the Baku Grand Prix, and nobody affected him whatsoever in that race. So let's see. Remy goes up into P4 in the Red Bull, with Mack is still in P3. But already Hazara and Glock setting some promising lap times, as Daniel says, qualifying ban for Rogue Smithy. Then he's on the wet compound tyres. So yeah, that explains it all. And he'll be started down in last place, hoping to make some redemption up, as we've got Harry Kane making his way around the triple right-hander, and let's see how he does on his first flying attempt in the Red Bull. The man who won at the Singapore Grand Prix, looking to get his championship aspirations underway. Nice ride in the left-hander curb there at the last corner. He goes across the line. It's only P5 for his efforts then, so hopefully for him he's got some more pace in that Red Bull, because he's quite a long way away in terms of Glock and Hazara, who currently lead P1 and P2 with a big gap over P3.
So we've just got the Alphas now. The Alfa Romeos to do their laps now. Aliens first will be the first one to do in the Alfa Romeo.
We'll have a look at his progress there as he makes his way across the line to start his first lap with his teammate Langfeld too, who's also on his out lap. He had a difficult race back at the Singapore Grand Prix, I believe it was. I think he was outside the top 10, but I need to keep an eye on the results, because I don't know if it was Monza where he was struggling or in Singapore. But his Alfa Romeo teammate, who also raced, he's already got invalidation.
Dear. Yeah, invalidation. So it's only just Langfeld to set a time. Just a quick call before he starts. Welcome to everyone to Real F1 Race Week. Oh, it's so glad to see that again. And I'm looking forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix on Saturday, which will be a Max Verstappen domination show once again. Now that I have a say on that, you can do Langfeld's lap.
Yeah, I'll go on board with Langfeld then to see how he does in the other Alfa Romeo. His teammate Adams unfortunately validated in the faster corners through turn 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 7. But here he is then, Langfeld going for a lap. He finished in P7 at the Singapore Grand Prix. I believe he qualified outside the top 10, but has made his way through after multiple strategies when a safety car appeared. And now we've got Langfeld making his way towards the faster corners through turn 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we lift off towards the turn number 6 there. I can't believe the speeds they carry through these Formula 1 cars, just flicking in left and right, carrying the minimum speed without invalidating to or lose the back of the car. Full commitment through there as we go up through turn number 9 then, as we head down towards turn 10 and now turn 11. This awkward left-hander is very easy to have lots of wheel spin on the exit there, because it's such a heavy braking zone as well. You need to get the back of the throttle quickly, as DRS is enabled for him. Then down this long straight we'll see all the overtakes happening. The thing about this track is, around here at Kota, it's so intriguing to see all these battles going through this third sector, and you'll see lots and lots of people battling in this final sector here, going side by side. We've seen it plenty before in the past history around here at Kota, ever since it first arrived back in 2012 after the last race before Texas was, I think it was Indianapolis. Then we managed to get to Kota, then also Miami and Las Vegas also joined the races for America. Now we've got Langfeld coming towards the penultimate corner. It seems like it's a decent lap for Langfeld. Let's see what is rewarded then. It makes its way towards the final corner. There is a Ferrari in the way, but hopefully it won't affect him too much as Langfeld goes into P3. Good lap time there for Langfeld.
Very strong lap, as Adams finally gets to do his lap now. The other Alfa Romeo, Laser, is on a lap as well. He's just going through the S's section. So I'm going to keep an eye on Adams. So 25 seconds on the first sector. Pretty strong start there from the Alfa Romeo driver. Recently promoted up to Division 1 after a very strong promise in Division 2, now headed towards Sector 3. This is where what Jamie said, that is going to be a lot more, the fights, all the battles is going to be 103, which is a little bit slower than the top guys, with the 102 section is. So the faster sector times are like 1020, so even the 1019. So that's your Sector 2 references, if you all want to know. As it goes through this long, beautiful right-hander, remember this of the Turkey turn 8 corner, but the wrong way around. But here comes Aiden's now. It's going to be a 33, possibly a 34, yeah, 34-1, P14. A good, decent, strong run there.
And of course he joined back in the Singapore Grand Prix to finish in P9. And also Harry Kane has done 3 laps on a set of soft compound tyres. I've noticed this from Harry Kane in the past few races. Become a recurring theme now for the Norwegian driver. Likes to approach qualifying much different to other people.
MDJ has spun on his flying lap. He's cut the rear tyres, and so that's his lap finish there for MDJ.
Where is he? What position? P9 he is, so let's have a look to see what he's done. Out of turn 9, so I presume he just dropped it at the top of the hill.
He spun it on just after the S's, so he must have dropped it somewhere and literally spun the car around, so which is a bit unfortunate, so that's his lap gone.
And also spinning too, it looks like Atlas has gone for a spin as well. He was 10 seconds down in the middle sector, and we've seen plenty of people crash there before in the past, but it looks like he was on his in-lap or something, so I'm not quite sure if he was pushed or not, but he's back in the pit lane now. He has lost his end plate too for good measure, but luckily not his tyre, because I remember Danny Kvyat crashed there back in 2015 at the 2015 USA Grand Prix, where Hamilton was going for his 3rd championship ahead of Nico Rosberg and managed to claim it since. But Hazara is currently on a flying lap and he's already a 10th up in the first sector already, so on course for good improvement here as he makes his way down into the heavy breakers at turn number 12. You can really cut this corner into turn 12. I've done it before. He takes a wider angle through there as he's currently 2/10 down in the middle sector.
So he's lost what, 3/10 of a second just going through sector 2 alone. So that's very, very interesting to see there.
Laser's back in the pit lane, so he'll not be on the attack. It will be the championship leader that was 4 or 5 races ago, but Smoke is 3.8 seconds down in the first sector, so he'll not go for a flying lap. I presume Hazard will be come back in the pit lane, which he will. And now we've got Maki who's out there. He's currently a few hundreds up in the first sector, and he took pole back in Austria and in Monza, but unfortunately in Monza it didn't go his way after getting taken out at turn number 1. And we'll see what he can do around here in USA. His season is looking to get underway because that was his first race win in a long time, said Mackett. So it's nice to see he's got some good pace this season and could be on course for challenging for the top 3 if he keeps his flying lap up, making his way towards turn 19. Now turn 20, carrying a lot of speed through the left-hander and now coming towards the final corner. Let's see if this can be pole or not. No, it's not. It's a 32.2, but it did 5.3 in the final sector.
That's very good there, made up one position there. So Hazara, if he can really string the lap together, he can push a 31. He can really push that 131, and that'll be an absolute belt of a time from Hazara. Here comes Smoke. He's coming into the pits. He's going to abandon his lap. As Nolder's coming out of the pits now. So we've got a bit of a break now from the whole action at the moment.
We're just waiting for main contenders to come out.
I was just about to ask Jamie, how excited are you for the new F1 season? Looking forward to seeing Verstappen needing 20 seconds beyond the field again?
The way you put it like that, no. But I really hope that the likes of Ferrari, McLaren, they can catch up if they can. I'm not quite sure if they will. I think it could be a very interesting fight for P2 in the constructors between Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, maybe Aston Martin, because Aston Martin did kind of a dip in the final parts of the season. McLaren were very strong Austria onwards, and Mercedes were just fluctuating. They had good results now and then, and sometimes they were bad. Ferrari, they've always had a quick car, but yeah, in terms of strategies, I'm not quite sure. I think Ferrari will get P2 of the constructors, judging by the way things are going for them. But I don't know. It's an interesting one. I know we all know Red Bull that will dominate unless something, a miracle happens to them or another team if they have a boosted performance. But I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. It's going to be a very interesting one to see. But I really hope, in terms of P2, the constructors can be really close between Ferrari, McLaren, Aston, Mercedes. I don't see any other team challenging for P2. I don't think Alpine will, but yeah, I just really hope it's a season full of fights. We all know that Red Bull's going to win. I don't think there's no way that no one's going to say they are, because look at the way they've been performing recently. There's a lot of evidence to suggest so. So I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you.
So Noldis is starting his run. This will be Noldis' final run. He will be the first car to start the flying laps. Let's see how he gets on in P11.
There he is out of the corner, out of turn 1 then, and we've got a few more making their way towards the line to start their potential last flying laps then. So we'll see how Noldis flying through the first sector here. The car looks like it's on rails so far. He's a 10th up, using a lot of curve on the entry there as he flicks through left and right up the hill towards turn 9 and turn 10 as Jagermal has joined the session. I think we're going to see Sammy joined the session, but unfortunately he is not here. He's supposed to join midway through, so he's only got about 2 minutes left before this qualifying session ends. Otherwise we won't have our 20th driver on the grid. And Noldis then powers his way down the back straight as we head towards turn number 12, this heavy braking zone, braking before the 100-meter board. Nobody's really cutting the corner on the inside, as you can see. Yet you can cut the corner a lot, as I've done it before in the past as well, but I'm not quite sure if it's been modified or anything like that due to track limits or anything. It is basically cutting the corner for track limits, but this game didn't acknowledge it for some reason. And now we're making our way towards the triple right-hander of turn 16, 17 and 18. And now we're coming through turn number 19 we go. Flicking in the left-hander, using all the curve on the outside. Be very careful, track limits too. Samit has joined the session, but unfortunately will be started down in P20. Here comes Noldis, across the line now. He goes inside the top 10, but we've still got plenty of contenders out there to try and knock him outside the top 10. His teammate is right behind us, and he'll start his last flying lap too. I want to go on board with Glock to see where he is on his flying lap.
Glock
Can he improve?
did set a purple first sector, so he's on an absolute flyer at the moment. He's lost a little bit of time with the second sector, so but this third sector is all or nothing now for Glock if he wants to get P1 in qualifying.
This last sector then for Glock, all or nothing for him in the Mercedes if he wants to claim a pole position, and we'll see if he can improve on Hazara's time. Make his way towards the penultimate corner now. They carried a lot of speed in there. Look at the turning. It's a validator to the final corner.
Oh no!
I think Maki just had enough time to go for another flying lap, it seems. So he's the last driver to cross the line. Keep an eye on him to see if he can take Paul away. But all 20 drivers
just went a 10 faster in the first set. He's on an absolute flyer, but can he make the second set to work?
He's got a big gap towards P3, but still wants to improve his time, does Hazara. And this time it looks like a better entry into turn 12. Draugen goes into P4 ahead of Laser by thousands, and that's very close margins around a track like this, 5 kilometers long. Hazara now makes his way towards turn 15, a bit wide, didn't really hit the apex, well not hit the apex, but just drifted away in the mid corner there. Now coming towards the triple right-hander for Hazara, makes his way towards the penultimate corner. His Aston Martin teammate gets out of the way for him, and he goes out wide.
Oh no!
He won't be improving, unfortunately. Hazara, unfortunately, will not be improving on that lap. All eyes on Maki. He's a few hundreds down in the middle sector. Not enough to improve on second place either. So, what can he deliver in the final sector? What about Harry Kane in P7? 3-lap pole, soft compound tyres for him. And there's a Red Bull in the pit lane. I'm not quite sure if that's Harry Kane or not. It is Harry Kane. So, Harry Kane will be starting P7. And here comes Beremi. Coming towards the line now. What can he do? And Maki's a validator, unfortunately. Beremi stays in P8, and Maki will not improve as he spins in frustration. And nobody really improved there in the final part of qualifying, really.
And Lord Danny Boy, he'll improve his position by 1 ahead of his Ferrari teammate. So congratulations to Hazara for getting pole position for the USA Grand Prix here in Kota.
Every time Hazara's raced, he's always went on to win it too, so could he do it for the 3rd time in a row after success in Belgium, Baku, and what about here in Kota? Can Glock finally get his first race win in altogether this season, because he hasn't won last season and he hasn't won this season yet? He's always been close to the championship, but due to bad decisions or timing or bad strategies for him, that's his weak point unfortunately this season. So hopefully can really have a good race here because he's definitely got the pace, but in terms of strategy calls, it hasn't gone his way at all. I remember back at the Belgian Grand Prix in Monza, he started last on both occasions, so he got compromised even then. But he made his way through the pack very quickly and finished in high positions. But what can he do here? Started on the first row alongside Hazara. Oh, sorry, Clark. I wasn't there for the last race of the season. Clark says I won the last race of the season. Yeah, I wasn't there, so yes, apologies about that, mate. But and talk about this season. Can he get his first win of this season? We'll see. Azara's on pole, ahead of Glock by almost a tenth. Mackets in P3. Drauken, great qualifying. Laser, P5. MDJ 6, ahead of Langfeld. Both Red Bulls 8th and 9th, ahead of Noldus. Great qualifying for him. Martin in 11th place. Again, like in Singapore. Smoke in P12. JDM 13th. Lard, Danny Boy 14th. And we can't see the rest then, but hopefully be a good race as we head on towards the race very shortly. As Glock, how do you feel about this race, mate? Do you think you have the chance to win? Do you think you have got great pace around here to beat Hazara? I know you're in the chat quite a lot, so I thought I'd ask you whilst you're in the chat. And Oliver, what's your predictions too?
Like I say, race every week. I say this so far, it's going to be one of those. It's going to be very unpredictable. I can't really predict until the final few laps of the Grand Prix. I really, really cannot predict. I mean, Division 1, especially this season, it's been so predictable. You know, like multiple different winners in the first 5 races, and then we got some consistency. I mean, look, hell, MTJ is leading the championship without even getting a race win. So yeah, it's very, very tricky to call this season, and especially for this race as well. It's gonna be very tricky to predict. But if I was gonna put my money on someone, I'll probably, if strategy goes correctly, I'm predicting MDJ to get his first victory.
Bold prediction indeed, as the last time Hazara raced, every race he's competed in this season, he's gone on to win it. So can he make it third in a row? We all know Hazara has got some blistering pace, and he was unchallenged back in Baku, and that's when MDJ had a crashed in qualifying and made his way to finish in P2. What could it have been for MDJ if he didn't crash in qualifying? And Glock says, if I can keep DRS maybe, but Hazara is a bit faster than me. And Daniel says, P3 Laser, Glock P2, Hazara P1, Martin will be P5. A very bold prediction there.
Very bold. But being like you said before, with those stats you were just saying there, Hazara, every time he starts a race, he tends on to wins it. So he has got consistency on inside, but this is USA. This is really unpredictable, the racetrack. I mean, you've got all the SS section, you've got Sector 3, you've got the DRS zone of Sector 2. So this is going to be turned down to a DRS man fest and strategy, because there's high degradation around here. Hards and mediums could be a massive option. You could go aggressive with a 2-stop, but it depends if you've got the pace for that as well. But all I can say is this is going to be a really exciting race. I think this is going to be one of the best races of the season. I'm sort of predicting that, but I really feel like it's going to be a really good race.
It was a good race for me as well, because last time I raced around USA I won, and that's my last ever league win as well in USA, which was a few months ago. So this is a good track for me, and I know what it's like to be on the right strategy at the right time, because rain could impact the circuit too. It is a one-stop strategy, and I remember in the older games where it used to be a 2-stop, and I think some people pitted onto lap 16, 17, 18 to go for that 2-stop strategy towards the end. That was very quick, but here it's a plain 1-stop unless a safety car comes out, and the chance for safety car can be very high, albeit there was only one safety car and about 1 or 2 retirements back in Singapore. So we'll see if safety cars do come into play towards this race and change the whole pecking order and strategies. And having a good race set. Let me repeat that. Having a good race set is paramount here. Will come down to tyre wear being the key. Yeah, I don't know why it took me a long time to read that. I was a bit sleepy there, or mind blank, so apologies about that. But yeah, tyre management is key around here. Also, what's key is staying within that DRS. They're all important DRS. If you could stay in that train through the first stint and try and do the undercut on your rivals and try and get ahead that'll be very key towards the end of the race as well. As the formation lap is underway, so we can see the tyre strategies that tyre people have gone for, and the top
Ooh, very
two on the
interesting.
hards, Mackey on the mediums, Hurricane on the mediums. So we've got a few soft runners and a few medium runners, and unusual to see soft compound tyres being used at this stage.
So soft tyres, remember from last night's race, right? Finishing P3, subject to Stewart's, but so far as I remember, I did a hard to medium strategy, which looks like most of these drivers will come into play, but soft tyres, they'll go around 7 to 8 laps, if I vaguely remember. So this is paramount for Bear, especially for Bear Remy. If he wants to really make that soft tyre work, he needs to make that soft tyre extremely work and get past, a few drivers just so he can make the time loss in the pits. And for Rogue Smithy as well, he's on the mediums as well, so he can try and make some progress and go to the hard tyres to the end. I don't know, this is going to be a very, very mixed strategy, and of course, safety cars is going to be coming to play. If the safety car comes in towards the end of the soft tyre runner, that will really come into the soft tyres very, very well, and it will be the end of their stints anyway. So this is going to be so interesting to see. And full 20 cars with a mixture strategy, I feel like this is going to be really, really, really interesting of strategical play throughout the field. I'm looking forward to this one.
Me too. Mixture of strategies then throughout the field, and a few soft runners to go with it, same as Smoke, Xenom, Atlas and Bear Remy. Interesting to see the soft compound tyres being used. Usually we see them towards the end of the race if a safety car does appear, not at the beginning, because although it could gain you a lot of places, long term wise it is not a great tyre to be on for long pace, because those tyres will shred very quickly and lose grip. But mediums are hard as you expect on the field. But yeah, the outliers being the soft compound tyres, and Bear Remy has to make up those positions as much as he can before that soft ends, because it can end very quickly too. And also, Glock has the inside line going into turn 1. Can he do what Kimi Räikkönen did in 2018 and overtake him up the inside into turn 1 on Hamilton? I think Räikkönen was on the ultra softs at the time, where Hamilton was on the super softs, or could have been super soft versus soft. I'm not quite sure. It was in 2018. We had lots of different tyres there: ultra soft, super soft, soft, hard, super hard, you name it. But now we've got soft, medium and hard to simplify it. As all the drivers then line up on the field, and we'll see what happens down into turn 1. Will Glock have a good start off the line and try and overtake Azara down into turn 1? What about Mackey on the second row? Can he get the start he needs on those medium compound tyres versus the hard runners? As the 5 lights are underway, Hazara gets a decent start off the line, but defending Glock immediately on the inside. Glock tries to go down the inside, but he can't because the inside line door is shut. A bit of contact as Mackett's falling down, as Jargon goes up into P2. He's side by side with Glock, but Glock used that battery to try and stay ahead. The AlphaTauri sticks his nose in there, but unfortunately runs out of space and he has to stay P3. So Mackett has fallen down into P4. It looks like a clean start from everybody, I must say, so far, as JDM's fighting with the Alfa Romeo. Around the outside he goes on Adams and tries to go around the outside on the soft runner Smoke, but not enough room there to do that on this occasion. But looks like L20 drivers have got away unscathed. A decent start so far from everybody, but unfortunately
big dive from the Red Bull Bear Remy on the soft tyres. It's going to make this well for him as he tries to take on Laser. This is Bear Remy really, really pushing hard on that soft top compound tyre. Can he get past Laser to make this strategy work? This needs to be done very, very soon.
And he goes up the inside into turn 12. Does Bear Remy try and overtake Laser? Can he make the move stick? Laser still has the outside line and better traction. And Bear Remy then braking later, trying to go around the outside. You can see the back end of the car stepping out as he applies the throttle. Down the inside goes Mackett on Dragon in the foreground. Has he got the move stick? No, he hasn't, because Dragon gets a better exit there and stays ahead. But Laser still stays ahead. No, in fact, Bear Remy goes up into P6. It's Laser defending from the other Red Bull, Hurricane right behind. Both Red Bull, one on soft and one on the medium compound tyres, as the McLaren driver is sandwiched in between, as Mackett looks to go up the inside in the final corner but can't quite make it work. We end lap 1 with Azara leading the Grand Prix ahead of Glock, and Hurricane is right behind Laser. Pulls out to go to the left hand side, and also in the foreground Mackett tries once again on the AlphaTauri. He gets the move stick, I think he does, and Hurricane's up into P7 now ahead of Laser Lord.
This is a very clean lap one. There's a very big fight for third to fifth at the moment between Mackie and Dragon and MDJ. Berimi's finally gone past his teammate and Laser, so he's making a soft side compound really work out for him. Is he really pressuring hard on MDJ's Williams now?
And you can see there, you can see MDJ getting pushed up the hill towards turn 9. And look at Berimi trying to go around the outside. He's going to run out of room, he's going to go off the track and has a massive slide in the process. And unfortunately couldn't make it work and didn't get the exit he needed to get alongside or clear of MDJ. I think he should have waited for the straight and tried to overtake him down the inside into turn number 12. As you can see there, MDJ straight line speed is really helping him boost up the order towards Dragon, but looks like there's a gap starting to develop already, and Mackett's already outside the DRS range, despite being on those medium compound tyres, already a second away. But can he make it up in the last sector where the technical part is around this track, where the grip is needed in these mid-speed corners, where the tyres will work at the best as well? He's almost in the second range. He almost gained half a second in the final sector alone in Mackett, but he has to get himself there before the DRS is activated, which is the next lap, unfortunately for Mackett there, who might be the DRS train provider.
So right now, it's a big massive train at the moment. Mackett is starting to close the gas line now, so into DRS, almost in DRS range of blocks. So you probably be hearing the words there. Still currently 1.1. It's just touching distance at the moment. In the midfield at the moment, it's just a massive train behind Mackett at the moment. It will be driving the DRS zone at the moment. So this is going to turn very interestingly. So right now Mackett needs to really close in this gap to Glock, who's just who's actually lost the DRS to Hazara now. So Hazara had a fantastic first sector and broke the DRS for Glock. So that's very interesting to see. Let's see what Berimi can do against the Williams of MTJ going to the DRS zone.
Hazara in the first sector, you can see the confidence he had going through the corners, flicking the car left and right, despite being on the hardcore power tyres on heavy fuel. Whereas Glock was sliding in the first sector, hence why he lost that 1 second range of DRS. MDJ overtakes Dragon, he goes up the inside into turn 12 on the AlphaTauri. Remember, these two had a great fight back at the Singapore Grand Prix on the last lap. And here we are, Berimi will take advantage on Dragon, his own OWR driver, tries to go up the inside but he can't quite do it, maybe switching the lines, go up the inside into turn 16, which he doesn't do as Hurricane. I think he almost hit the back of his own teammate there and will be under pressure from Laser, but he stays ahead of the McLaren for the time being. Last year's champion Laser there, having a lot of steering importance, those triple right-handers, won't be doing his tyres any good. The tyres will be overheating if he does that, even if he continues to do that.
So right now, this is looking okay for Berimi on the soft compound tyre, so this is not looking too bad for him. At this moment in time, he's gained 3 positions on the soft compound run. I think that's pretty decent so far. He'll be happy with his first stint so far.
Yeah, what happened to Laser was Berimi overtook him, he's on the soft compound tyres, and Hurricane also made his way through on the medium compound tyres, but his advantage should swing back towards him being on the hard compound tyres. So not over yet for Laser. He's still in this DRS train. We can see Berimi is still utilising these soft compound tyres to his advantage, try and make his way up through the field. Then there's a bit of a DRS gap between second, third and fourth now, all within outside of a second of each other, as the yellow flags down, which is Zenham unfortunately spun, is also on the soft compound tyres. So both Ferraris, P19 and P20.
Here goes Dragon towards the inside of MDJ, and this will be for P4 and gets him. But what about Berimi? He's going to get the position down on MTJ as well. Can he get the inside of Dragon? He can! Oh, great move that is for Berimi. But there comes Dragon fighting back now. He's not going to get this position now. Here comes, and Berimi gets, and just holds the line, gets the move done. What a move that was for Berimi. Needed that as well.
He did indeed put himself up into P4. Berimi, he's currently 1.6 away from Mackett. There's more action going on throughout the whole field as well, with Samad overtaking Atlas. He's still going wheel to wheel with the other AlphaTauri driver. Here we are at the lower end of the field, unfortunately for those two, as Samad did not take part in qualifying. He's up into P16 now. Rogue Smithy, with that qualifying ban, is still down there in P18, not able to make any moves so far on the medium compound tyres. We've got Hurricane, who also looked for a move on MDJ in turn 1, but couldn't quite make it happen. Hurricane was dominant back at the Singapore Grand Prix, and now he finds himself fighting with the guys who's on the podium with him, which is MDJ and Draugr too. And looks like the Alfa
Oh,
Romeo there is fighting with Jagamol, and Jagamol just defends for the time being. Is up into P14 ahead of Adams.
yeah, sorry, I had a bit of a cough there, but yeah. So basically, JDM overtook Adams into turn one. That loses Adams all sorts of momentum, and then Jaguar just sweeps in on the inside of Adams and takes away that 14th position. So that is two positions lost for Adams there in the section of the corner.
And here comes Hurricane. You can see MDJ's derating on the straight. He could be vulnerable down. It's turn 12. Hurricane is later on the brakes. He tries to go around the outside, but no room there for whatever. As Hurricane immediately picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that might
he
get
must have a few warnings for that as well. So that could be something to the Stewarts for forcing them a drive on the track. But that's a big dive there. Oh, that was brave from Hurricane. Brilliant.
It was indeed. He puts himself up into P6, but I've also noticed when I've commentated around USA before that you can get an immediate 3-second time penalty by going out wide at turn 12. I think it's happened to me before, so I think it is an immediate 3-second time penalty, and he hasn't got any warnings prior towards that 3-second either, so I think it could be an immediate one, as you might want to check the race director just in case for Hurricane's sake. But Draugr is on the back of Berimi and not able to make a move, so I wonder if the peak performance of those soft compound tyres has now started to come to the end, as the guys on the hards and mediums will have advantage on that Red Bull as Zenon picks up a 3-second time penalty. But there's a major change from 15th down to 18th there. Those guys are squabbling quite hard with Rogue, Smithy and Atlas, and also Lord Danny Boy there for good measure. There's a big change with all those drivers switching positions, as Lord Danny Boy has almost spun as well, and the rear end of the car just went with it, and luckily he saved the car and not into the barriers, because that could have been in the wall and caused a safety car. But hasn't done that whatsoever. It might have played into the hands of Berimi, but no safety car just yet for these drivers, as Adams is still fighting with Samid, as we watch Draugr and Berimi go at it for P4 once again. Draugr is up into P4 as Adams has left the session too, and maybe due to internet, but Draugr is up into P4. He overtakes Berimi with Hurricane on the tail of his own teammate there, and with MDJ looking in close contention as well. So a big DRS train going from P4 all the way down to P11. Looks quite quiet, unfortunately for us, inside the top three. They're just separated by 2 seconds, those guys at the top three.
Yeah, so right now I looked at Hurricanes on Hurricanes, and he did have 2 warnings previous to his 3-second time penalty. One for lap 1 and another one for lap 3. So that is he had his 2 warnings and he's got his penalty at the end.
It's a shame for Hurricane there, and here he is then, as we've got another yellow flag. That's JDM has lost it at turn 19, and hopefully get going once again as we watch Hurricane overtake Berimi, who's up into P5 now on those medium compound tyres. And next up the road is Draugr, who's got himself back in DRS contention of Mackie. So Mackie was not able to use those mediums to his advantage to try and close in on Glock, as Oliver has left the session. Oliver, you there?
Yes, I'm still here. Basically, what happened is, every time I go into Race Director, it literally just doesn't want me to exit. So I had to keep restarting the game to do that.
Oh yeah, I know we talked about. It's happened to me before as well. I've completely forgot all about that, so my bad, Oliver, about that.
Oh, it's alright. No problem.
So while we wait for Glock to get back in the session, we watch MDJ putting pressure on Berimi. So both Red Bulls are swap positions, and Berimi's going to drop backwards now on those soft compound tyres, and MDJ should have the move stick going down into turn 12, lays the brakes on those hards, which he is then. So those soft compound tyres that was working in the early stages have started to fade away now, and Berimi, the longer he stays on those softs, the worse it gets for him, and the more he'll tumble down the order with those guys on better tyres behind him as well. Smoke holding his own down in P12 with his Haas teammate right behind him on those medium compound tyres. Also didn't take part in qualifying, as Oliver has rejoined the session then, so we can get back in. But Hazara has extended the gap to almost 3 seconds now, and looks very comfortable at the top there of the pecking order in P1. Driving his own race like he has been in Singapore, not Singapore, Belgium, and where else was it? Completely forgot which race he was. It's Baku that he took part in and won that too. So he's looking very comfortable at the top there with nobody around him to pressurise him, as he dropped Glock by himself in the DRS as well. Look at him carrying the speed to the corners. Absolute commitment there from Hazara. He looks very comfortable in that Aston Martin so far.
So yeah, so looks like Berimi's tyres have officially now gone away from him now. It's about any lap now or any time now he'll be now coming into the pits with Laser now just behind 4 tenths of a second, just behind him now. So which is interesting to see. MDJ is just still holding on to the clutches of Hurricane, only just with Hurricane just holding on to Dragon, but like I said before, Hazara is just pulling away with his hard compact tyres. And here comes Laser, about to overtake Berimi.
As he puts him down into a place, and those wonder how long will it be for Berimi to go.
Oh, Martin overtaking Langfell. This is for P9. Switchback move for Langfell. He's about to get the position done. Can he get that switchback move? Defend that 9th place for Martin. Wheel to wheel they go. Through the section. Oh! Langfell had a big snap of oversteer. Saved the car only just. And that's Martin up to P9.
Great battle indeed between the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes. Have got a bit argy-bargy, but rubber is racing, as they say, and Martin puts himself up into P9 now with the Red Bull of Berimi on those soft compound tyres. I wonder when will he pit? He stays out there for the time being. Yeah, I think he's going for the soft to medium strategy is Berimi, but the longer he stays out there, the more time he'll lose on those soft compound tyres. As Dragon now is starting to put pressure on Mackie. He's within striking distance, as we can see both Hasses going wheel to wheel as we go down into turn 1 with Smoke just ahead of his Haas teammate who's on those medium compound tyres. So I wonder if Smoke is starting to feel the effects of those soft compound tyres going off, but all 20 remain as Rogue Smith is up to P15 as Adams has joined the session. Unfortunately he's down as P19. We're watching Rogue Smithy side by side with Atlas, and they continue to go side by side, but Atlas has to bail out of it, and Rogue Smithy's up into P15 then ahead of the Alpha Tyre driver. Maybe USA is not his strongest race, but still having a clean race, which is very important for Rogue Smithy. He has a clean race now.
So, at the moment, the both Haas cars are quite close now. Jargemel on the back of his teammate, with Martin is still 2.2 behind Berimi. He will start to close that gap down. As Langfell looking a little move on the Mercedes, but no thing to no avail. Give a little bit of a warning shot, really. It's a bit like boxing, really, when you just give a little bit of a warning shot. They say, I'm still there, I'm still in your mirrors, I'll be coming after you on the next lap. So, this is Martin's chance now to get close to his teammates as Rogue Smithy overtakes Atlas Scope and is now up to P15. So good work there for Rogue Smithy.
I think Rogue was defended from Atlas and just managed to hold off. He's still in P15. Is Rogue Smithy for the time being, but we watch Dragon now, who's closed the gap down towards Mackett, who's trying to close the gap down between himself and Glock, but not able to do so as Rogue Smithy picks up another 3-second tire penalty, unfortunate for him. But now we're watching Dragon all over the back as he has a bit of a wobble on at turn 1 there in the dirty air of that Alpine, who of course is on the medium compound tyre. He's trying to go for his second podium of the season. Arguably you could say he could have should have won in Monza or be in the podium, but unfortunately got wiped out in turn 1. But here to make amends, as Hazara's got a 3-second gap now on Glock, so he's well clear of the Mercedes driver. The Aston Martin on a great lead so far. As you can see, Dragon, when will he decide to overtake the Alpine and Mackett? We'll see. Will it be down the straight? He tried to go for it in the last lap, but wasn't quite close enough, and maybe close enough now with the DRS enabled on the straight. As you can see, Mackett defending the left hand side there, as he's defending fresh air from Dragon, who's not gonna be forced into that, and he's up into P3. Good move there from Dragon.
Very clean race so far between the drivers at the moment as Rogue Smith and Atlas Scope still fights. Oh, Rogue Smith had a massive mistake there on the exit of the hairpin, so he loses a position there to Atlas Scope, who reclaims P15 away from Rogue Smithy as Martin got overtaken by Langfell. As they're both fighting, Berimi is getting away, which is not a good sign. Look at that lead from Mazar, 3.4 seconds. He's absolutely pulling away. This will definitely put him in prime position when he comes in for those tyres at the end of the stint. It all setting up for a very good race win. Speaking of pits, actually, Smoke is now coming for his stop on for the soft compound tyre.
So 10 lap hold soft in the pit lane, and we'll see if he goes on to a set of the medium compound tyres to go towards the end of the race then. So we'll see where he comes out to. Might be down in 19th place. I've seen him quite far back in the Ferrari. He comes out now, maybe in a bunch of traffic as well, as he rejoins in 18th place, and now got Adams coming towards turn number 1. Should be able to get ahead of the Alfa Romeo, and I think he has for the time being, as he stays in 18th place. There he is in the Haas then, and JDM's trying to fight with Rogue Smithy, 2 former teammates of course, back in McLaren I think it was. And here we are on the track with the 2 of them. It was actually AlphaTauri, I remember now. They were both
Mackie had a wobble.
together.
Mack had a wobble out of the hairpin. This will give Harry Kane a chance. And he gets the move done. Great move there from Harry Kane. Taking advantage of the mistake from Mackie. So Harry Kane now moves up to P4.
I was about to say, is Mackie struggling on those hard compound tyres? But I don't think he is, because Harry Kane is still there in P4. Maybe drivers have different ways of managing tyres, but I'm not quite sure. Tyre temperature could have also have an effect today, because you got long corners like the triple right-hander, which could really put an effect to your left front tyre there, and really get them hot as well in race trim as well. It's so difficult to get the tyre temperatures under control, especially a track like this with a full speed, a high speed, mid speed corners and heavy braking zones and heavy turning zones as well. So you've really got to manage your tyres. I remember in the olden games where the strategy was soft, medium, I think it was. I don't think the hards were needed in any
Yeah, I
race.
remember those days, yeah.
And the tyres wouldn't stop overheating, would they, Oliver?
No, they were like, by the end of their, literally during mid-race, or literally, they're not even like, I don't know, if you like have a piece of meat, and you have it like, it's not even cooked properly if it's undercooked. With these tyres, they're pretty much cooking very well. But in the older days, it's like massive overcooked meat, and it's literally unbearable to drive. So it's a good thing that tyres has come a long way in this game, and you can tell that tyre temperatures are starting to get a little bit more under control. It's not perfect, but it's a bit more similar. It's a bit more simmy-like with the tyres. As we've got a good fight now with this fight for P3 with the DRS train. So let's see how it all plays out. It's all down to strategy, as we all know. So these drivers, I'm trying to get my words out, are just managing the airs, just managing the gaps at the moment. Berimi's fallen way behind now. It's now 2 seconds behind this group. Martin's not closing in enough on Langfeld yet, and Langfeld is still 3.3 behind Berimi at the moment. So right now it's a little bit still. All the fights are happening at the front at the moment, well, at the back with Rogue Smithy and JDM. Rogue Smithy down the inside of his former teammate, trying to get this move done. These are 2 drivers in the AlphaTauri cam, remember? Now in separate teams. Oh, that switch back from Rogue Smithy was absolutely delicious. Serves it on a silver platter with the cherry on the top. Can he do another one? No, with little tap on the rear. On the rear, JDM holds on.
2 former teammates going at it. I think Smoke got past both of them as he was behind him, and he's managed to leave those 2 to fight with each other as Atlas is in the pit lane. Then Smoke really flying on these medium compound tyres. How many positions can he gain before those guys ahead of us pit, as Mackett's right behind, MDJ's right behind Mackett there, puts him under massive pressure as those medium compound tyres aren't doing any justice. Justice! Oh, Glock has got a 3-second time penalty as well, and that'll have a big effect, because I've noticed that Dragon has started to close in on Glock. He's almost within his DRS range, and now Glock unfortunately has picked up a 3-second time penalty. So like I said, Glock's got every chance of scoring podiums, but unfortunately something just happens, like the wrong strategies, and now penalties might cost him a podium too, with this group being so close.
Well, this is getting really interesting now. Is it the medium tyres now starting to degrade now? Because we're in the 12th lap of their stint. Fair play to Berimi though, still sticking out there on 12th lap on soft tyres. He's the only soft tyre runner now in this race. He's now starting to fall behind now. Langfeld starting to close in on him now. But this is the more interesting fight here at the front. Can MTJ take advantage of the medium compound runners now starting to lose their grip, as JDM and Rogue Smithy are still fighting? And look at this, Ed Mackett is now got into the pits now from his medium compound set. This is for hard compound tyres.
For sure to go to the end, maybe softs if they can stretch it out, but I'm not quite sure. So here we are then, he's on the hard compound tyres. Behind us is Berimi, who's on the softs going towards the medium compound tyres. So he's really good at tyre management. We saw it back in Baku where Dragon was hunting him down, and he took those medium compound tyres over 20 laps. And I think Dragon gained about 4 seconds on him, on the final lap, and that's how much the tyres can really drop towards the end. Draugr still setting personal best in the first sector, it says, so he's still got some decent pace, and he's hunting down Glock 2 for good measure. So Draugr has really found some pace in the last few races of this season. He's really stepped up his game too, and he'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm about to say, ever since Monza, when I watched him, he was really pushing on, and this is a massive kickstart right now. He's having one of his best races he could ever ask for. Draugr he's just keep going on and on and on. But look at this, Harry Kane is still not going to let him get away. He's going to try and keep putting the pressure on him. The more he does that, it's probably going to fuel Draugr more to try and catch down Glock, who's currently 4 seconds behind Azara, as JDM and Rogue Smithy are still fighting away. And running outside is Rogue Smithy on JDM. This is going to get very interesting here, Jamie.
And watch the battle now, because Adams is right behind on the hardcore power tyres when we disconnected, but here he comes. He might take 2 for 1, which he does. 18th to 16th before turn 12, and Rogue Smithy and JDM are still fighting along. So I think the later drivers go and fight with themselves, it looks like. And JDM stays ahead of Rogue Smithy for the time being, but I want to keep an eye out as he tries to do a switchback, but not enough space as the car was in the way. Martin pits to get off those hard. Up the inside goes Rogue Smithy on JDM again. And just get the boost stick as JDM goes around the outside of Logan versus Charlie into the triple right-hander we go, as looks like Charlie has gone underneath him again in turn 18 and re-overtakes him for up into P17 he goes. So those two having a really good battle, but it ends because JDM is in the pit lane. It looks like Rogue Smithy was weaving left and right to say thank you very much for a good battle, but JDM is in the pit lane now. So we'll see then if any of these guys respond towards Berimi's pit stop. They stayed out for the time being from 2nd all the way down to 6th.
I really enjoyed that fight between Rogue Smithy and JDM. May it continue, but that is really enjoyable to watch. So right now, Glock's holding his own. He won't be pitting until another few more laps, so it's not rushing to anything just yet. Lap 15, the highest meter time runner is Harry Kane, as we got Jagermel and Nolder to fight. Jagermel has just gone past Nolders actually into P8. We got a yellow flag. I think that's for Rogue Smithy. Yes, it's Rogue Smithy. He's had a bit of a spin, and we got a virtual safety car. This could be very interesting. Harry Kane, if it lasts long enough, Harry Kane could get a free pit stop here.
Everybody's gonna get a free pit stop who haven't pitted yet, and this could really hurt Berimi with this VSC coming out now, because it's reducing everybody's speed, and these guys can pit and get into a brand new set of mediums or hards depending if you're Harry Kane or not. Maybe Harry Kane might go to soft compound tyres, we'll see. If he does come into softs, now he goes on the hard compound tyres, so not really risking it on those softs. As Hazara has pitted too, I expect everybody who hasn't pitted to use this as a free pit stop opportunity and not lose a lot of time. So where is Berimi in all of this? He's coming towards...
Berimi just goes towards the last corner. He's just hit the last corner.
Oh, he's got a driving penalty.
No! Oh, that is good race ruined. That, to say that the least. Oh, that's a shame. That's a very. We got the green flag, and literally just as I say that, the green flag's ended, and he can't get my words out. Just got ahead of the guys who've just been pitting, so he's been a few positions, but now he's only got 3 laps of free track rate before he has to come to the pits again. Instead of a drive-through, Rogue Smithy is retired from the pits. Unfortunate.
He's not even made a pit stop yet, but he's lost his wing completely. He did make a mistake in the final corner. There was a momentary yellow flag out there, but he's called it a day. Becomes our first retirement in this race, unfortunately. And bear with me, I do feel sorry for him, because the VSC came out at the worst possible time. He was going for an undercut on these guys on the medium compound tyres, but he stays in P8, and the gap is 4.8 behind Mackie, so he's lost a huge amount of time. And Jagermel and Langfell are going side by side. Jagermel did a great job so far. I think he started down in P18, which he did, and he's ahead of Langfell for the time being. Also on those soft compound tyres, can he make them last towards the end of the Grand Prix? He's got 12 laps to do so. There's his Haas teammate in front of us, Smoke. So both Haas's inside the top 10 for the time being, as they're trying to hold on. But I think Smoke might let Jagermel go. No, he's on the better tyres and fresher tyres, so he can't afford to hold up his teammate. and Langfell's right behind too to take advantage if he can. But the scenario is now somebody else is in the pit lane. Is that Berimi? Yes, it is. I think he's serving his drive-through penalty. So unfortunately, Berimi's race has gone downhill like he was in Singapore. So that's 2 races in a row for Berimi where things haven't gone his way, and he'll have to suffer once again, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is a bit unfortunate. So this is getting interesting now between the top 5 now. So MDJ is behind Harry Kane, who's on the hard compound tyre. MDJ will like to get past Harry Kane as soon as possible so he can make this medium compound work and not get held up between this hard time runner, because Laser is just behind him on a similar gap. So right now Laser is just waiting in the wings to see if there's going to be any mistakes coming on. Let's see what MDJ will do with Harry Kane.
I wonder how Mackie lost a lot of time. He's down to P7. Oh, I think it was due to that VSC. I think he pitted early. Yeah, it's cost Mackie too. Down at P7, looking to do the undercut as he pitted first out in that group, along with Berimi. And now it's cost him too, because he's last hit in the background. We can see a Mercedes and Alpine going wheel to wheel. That is Martin versus Samid. And Martin there defending from the Alpine for the time being. Look, Samid looking to get a better exit on traction, but not able to do so, as Berimi is ahead of Adams, then puts himself up into P14. As Samid there really screwily tries to go up the inside of Martin, but not enough room to do so on that occasion, as Hazara sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix too.
Yeah, Hazara is really stretching the legs of the Aston Martin, but with the other Aston Martin, Noldus, he is now trying to pressure down the Haas driver of Smoke now. Let's see what he can do. But look at this, MTJ down the inside of Harry Kane. This is for position 4. This is going wheel to wheel and gets the move done. MTJ now moves up into P4. Drauga next.
It is, as Noldus is ahead of Smoke then, so unfortunately for Smoke.
Oh, Noldus, unlucky.
He cut the corner tail also. I presume he tried to overtake him, but unfortunately just cut the corner completely and gave him a 3-second time penalty immediately. So Noldus, who's run a good race inside the top 10, has really cost himself now. He's overtaken Smoke, who's dropped himself outside the top 10. His teammate's still there in P8, but under massive pressure from Langfell. Langfell's putting big pressure on Jagermal as Langfell gets a 3-second time penalty. So I'm not surprised either about these 3 seconds, because it's a brutal track for track limits, and you're proving to see there that these 3-second time penalties are starting to come in now. But Glock, it could be detrimental now. He could still finish in P2. The gap is 2.7 in these last 10 laps without a safety car. Does he have the pure pace to try and pull that gap over 3 seconds? In the background, there's Martin and Smoke going wheel to wheel as Martin gets another position and puts himself up into P11 in that Mercedes. He's finished where he started, I think it was, back in Singapore in P11. I'm not trying to repeat that again for the Mercedes' sake, as Smoke then under pressure from Samid, who goes up the inside. He tried on Martin last time, failed, but this time could be successful, and it is successful as he puts himself up into P12.
So this is interesting to see now how MDJ does now with Draugen, because he's 1.1 behind him now. So he's just close enough for DRS. Now, if he gets past Draugen, has he got the pace to get away from Draugen and then try and close down Glock? That'll be the very interesting factor. Is that going to happen, or is that not going to happen? Not. But he is running out a little bit of time at the moment, so we're just about 10 laps to go. So we're going to the closing stages. This is going to be very interesting how the opponent's going to shake out.
And also remember, Draugen was closing down MDJ for the podium last week, but this time it's the other way around. But P2 is still on the cards with Glock picking up that 3-second time penalty, and a Ferrari has spun in the final corner. That looks like it's Zenum in P18, which it is, and no safety car for the time being. I don't think he's lost his wing. There doesn't look to be any debris so far, so no safety cars or virtuals to be deployed on this occasion. We can get green flag racing once again. Only one retirement as Jagermal has overtaken Langfell. In fact, the other way around, sorry. Langfell's up into P8 ahead of the Haas, and now Samid and Martin in the background are going for it again. And here comes Samid, has overtaken Martin up into P11. So this for the second time, or third time in a row, he's finally done it and puts himself up into P11. Next target is Noldus, or the same tyres of course, but Noldus does have that 3-second time penalty. So Samid, who didn't qualify during qualifying, joined very late, didn't have a time to set a lap, is currently P11 looking to score some points after starting down in P20. Only one retirement so far, which is Rogue Smithy, in the pit lane, not on track. So no on-track retirements for the time being, as it has been a one virtual safety car. But Samid has DRS on the back of the Aston Martin, and MDJ is not really close enough in that DRS of Dragon to get himself in that contention of 1 second range of DRS. Same with Glock, 2.8 seconds behind 2.9, so in fact 3 seconds now, 3.1, so the gap continues to extend between Glock and Dragon. But if you remember, in the end of the first stint, Dragon will start to close in on Glock. Could it be the same case scenario later in the stint if Dragon does have that pure pace, because the gap is hovering around 3.1, now it's gone back down to 2.8, so it is fluctuating between second and third, with MDJ still there in P4 trying to get back in the DRS, but he is derated on the straight. He has no battery whatsoever left in his disposal to try and hunt down Dragon for P3. Dragon looking on course to score a second podium in a row like it was in Singapore, and just missed out back in Baku after needing one more lap to overtake Berimi after being on old tyres doing a one-stop strategy when the safety car came out. Samid is ahead of Noldus and he puts himself up into P10, does the RP driver, but the battle for P2, P3 is not over yet. We could still see some action left, and Laser as well down in P6. He needs to overtake Harry Kane if he wants to have a chance for a podium too. He's stuck behind the Harvener, who's currently outside the DRS range of MDJ. Can Laser find himself on a podium later on in this race? Does he have the pace? It's been sat at the back of this DRS train throughout the whole race, but now it's the time to start making inroads and try and close in. First target is Harry Kane, and next one is MDJ, and next is Dragon for the podium.
MDJ is just hovering at 1.0 now between himself and Dragon. It's now in DRS range. Can he stay within there now to the DRS detection zone, so he can get a good run on him for the next lap? This is going to be very, very interesting to see as MDJ runs wide, so he will not get DRS for this lap. What about Laser? Can he get a Harry Kane this lap? Because Harry Kane will not get DRS on this lap because he was outside the DRS detection zone of MDJ. Let's see how this is going to play out.
And Harry Kane's strategy going from mediums to hards does not work to his favours at all. He's under pressure from Laser. Laser pulls the left hand side. His straight line speed is not looking really good like it was back in Baku as well, and Singapore. And they go wheel to wheel out of turn 12 as we head down through 13. Harry Kane still fighting hard on the inside. Laser has the outside. He should have better grip on those mediums, but Harry Kane's still sticking there. A bit of contact for good measure too. And Laser has the inside going into turn 16. Has he finally got the move stick? Yes, he has. He puts the McLaren into P5. Not an easy fight at all, and he lost a bit of time too towards MDJ. The gap is 1.2 now, but Laser crucially ahead of Harry Kane. He's still there. He might overtake him into turn 1, you know, because he's still got the EOS. It looks very quick as well, does Harry Kane, but unfortunately his strategy's not working in his favours from mediums to hards, where the strategy is usually hards to mediums.
You wanted to try and go opposite, trying to see if the medium compounds will literally die on the air, but it's most likely they won't. So, and Harry Kane did lose the rear end on the exit of turn 20, and he lost momentum on behind Laser, but now Laser 1.1 behind MDJ 1.2 behind Dragon, so gaps very, very similar, very, very close. But Hazari hadn't even talked about it all race because he's been absolutely dominant in this race, to say the least. Pole position, fastest lap, and most likely the victory as well, 5.2 seconds. But this is the most interesting final moment. Can Harry Kane actually overtake Laser and get that P5 back, I wonder?
So Laser, who overtook Harry Kane, was able to pull away, and now Harry Kane's all over the back of him. He is derated on the straight, is Laser, and that's an easy overtake for Harry Kane. So Laser, instead of progressing forwards, he's fallen backwards again, and he's down to P6 then. So Harry Kane still got some decent pace on those hard compound tyres. He's only about a second away from MDJ too, so his pace on those hards is not bad, and Yagamel is still fighting with Langfell, so it looks like Langfell hasn't pulled away, and Martin is able to overtake Noldus as he goes up into P11 ahead of the Aston Martin there. Martin, could he finish in P11 for the second time in a row? We'll find out. Next target is Samid, who's 2.3 seconds away from him. But Yagimel's got some decent pace on those soft compound tyres to overtake Langfell too. So P8 is good for him so far, but can those Haas hold on with 5 laps left to go in this race? The Haas is looking good so far from start to the back of the field in P18. but can he hold there? Will Langfeld get him? Will Samid get him too? Albeit, Langfeld does have a penalty, so might have to watch out for Samid or maybe Martin in the closest stages of the race if Jagerman wants to hold on to P8. We'll see, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of EOS stored up, but there's a yellow flag down at turn 10, I think it is, or 11. It seems gone for a spin again.
Yeah, but fair play to Zenith for keep on going. You had a bit of a trouble race today, but at least he keeps on going. So, MDJ, is he's under a second. He's got to get the RS on Dragon this lap. This is not going to be for an overtake. This is going to close the gap down. So let's see how far he can close that gap down. Oh, the DRS is not activated, so he must have not got it. But next lap, he's definitely going to get it. Next lap, if he can keep that gap under a second.
He did have the DRS, Oliver, on this lap.
Oh, he did. Oh, I didn't see the rear wing open. Must be different cameras then. Fair enough.
And remember, guys, the DRS detection point is the white line before the heavy brake is on the turn 11. So that's where the DRS detection point is. And Jagermal and Langfeld are fighting for P8 as Jagermal defends for the time being and stays ahead of Langfeld. So those two are in a great battle too. Benefit is for Jagermal is that Langfeld has got a 3-second time penalty to his name, but Samid is starting to close in on this battle for P8 then, so watch out for Samid too. He started last in this race after not setting a time in qualifying, looking to scoring decent points in P8. Maybe not the result he wants because we know he's a lot faster than this, but unfortunately this race is quite difficult. Laser is right behind Hurricane again, but the gap's increased significantly between P4 and P5. Hurricane is 2 seconds away, so any chance for a podium for these two is slipping. Langfeld is ahead, finally, of Jagermal, and Jagermal got pushed off the track slightly in turn 1, but Robin is racing, and Langfeld is ahead for the time being, but Samid has caught in this battle quite quickly too, so might fancy a move on the Haas, who's on soft compound tyres. It might be starting to fade away ever so slightly. A-lap all softs, it might be starting to just fade away, unfortunately for him. But the battle for P3 and P4 then, it looks like Glock is just holding on there in P2, trying to build that gap over 3 seconds. He has done so, but the gap's not enough. It's 3.1 as Laser has re-overtaken Hurricane once again, but the chance of podium for him is starting to disappear now with those two up the road ahead and got DRS2 for good measure. So the battle for P3 is on now. MDJ has been working so hard to try and close in, and Martin is ahead of Noldus for P11 again as those two continue to fight for P11. But MDJ has been working so hard lap after lap trying to get in that DRS, and finally once he's done it, save some battery too and try and put pressure on Draugen. Draugen is trying to get the gap under 3 seconds, but now he's got pressure from MDJ behind. Will it be a bit difficult for Draugen to try and decrease the gap towards Glock and try and start focus on MDJ behind? Maybe that's his main focus now, by being under pressure from MDJ behind.
Yeah, I'll say so, because the thing is, Draugen is not showing the pace he needs at the moment, and as you can see, MDJ is just applying pressure to Draugen. So at this moment of time, looks like it's going to be Glock's P2 to lose and MDJ's P3 to gain. So this is going to be also close for this battle for P3. I think this is going to be probably MDJ's. It depends on Earth's management, but it looks like Hurricane is also sizing up a movement on Laser. So we got two fights for 2 positions. So this is going to get very interesting indeed.
And MDJ is very close to the back of Dragon, but will he wait in the latter stages of this race? And here comes in the background Hurricane on Laser. Still got some decent pace on those hardcore bar tyres, and he's up into P5 once again then. So the battle for P5 is on, but Hurricane does have a 3-second time penalty, so the best to finish is P6, with Mackett being quite a long way down the road in P7. They're 8 seconds away from Laser 2, with Langfeld and Jagermal fighting over P9, with Samid in the background in P10, and Noldus once again overtakes Martin. There's Bear Remy, haven't mentioned him ever since his drive through penalty, up into P13 ahead of Smoke. There is B Remy. I don't think he's got the pace he had in the first stint, but let's see, he's 5.9 seconds away, maybe a bit too much to catch towards the top 10. But lap 26, lap 28, Hazara, barely mentioned him ever since lap 1, is looking very comfortable up there in P1, doesn't look threatened or challenged whatsoever, and nothing will stop him. Even a 3-second time penalty would stop him either, to be honest. Maybe a 6-second time penalty, considering Drago's 3.4 away from Glock. But Glock is managing his own in P2, really pushing hard to try and build that 3-second deficit. The best thing about this is for Glock that there's no safety cars can be activated from here on in. Safety cars will not pressurise him or threaten him anymore, so it's his pure pace to try and continue to build that gap over Dragon in P3.
It's going to be MDJ's chance now going into this hairpin, and he's very good traction coming out of the turn. Looks like Dragon's just got the edge of him on traction, so he looks like MDJ has going to be waiting another lap. So there's Laser. So what's else is going down the field? We've got Yargamel and Samad. They're battling for P8. Oh, Yargamel has had a massive wheel spin going out of the exit of the turn. This gives Samad a chance now for an overtake.
But Yargamel still has the DRS on the back of Langfell, and Sam is not able to get a move into turn 12 ahead of the Haas so far. But the Haas's tyres have started to fade away, dissipate his pace as well for good measure, and Samed's media's tyres should be better now than the softs. But Yargamel's defending for dear life ahead or behind the Alpine now. I think Langfell might be able to pull away and capitalise due to his mistake, and I think Yargamel has to focus on Samed right behind. But we are approaching lap 27 out of 28 in this Grand Prix. I think we are like yes we are, so I was looking at the wrong thing there. The guys behind haven't crossed the line yet to register lap 27. It said lap 26 out of 28. So yes we are. Well, lap 27 out of 28, and the battle for P3 is on. Yellow flags in the first sector because Adams has retired in the pit lane, and his cars came out to retire on the track. But the battle of P3 is on. Drago versus MDJ. It was the other way round where Drago was hunting down MDJ, but once again they find themselves in this spot, and let's see who claims P3. There's only one more spot left at the podium unless Glock makes a mistake and drops the gap below 3 seconds, but Glock should have him covered in P2. So one more spot left for P3. Who's it going to be? Will it be Drago for a second time in a row, or will it be MDJ's? We'll find out towards the last stages, but it doesn't look like he's going for an overtake. And Drago's using that straight line speed to his advantage and using the DRS. Using the battery, sorry. And MDJ's not able to try and get closer, but he does have the DRS and the ERS too, as Adams left the session there. And there's a yellow flag that came out momentarily, and Sam is ahead of Yargamel, puts himself up into P9 ahead of him in turn 12, but Yargamel's really struggling with those soft compound tyres. Those softs start to come towards the end, but I think it's survival now. I think Malta's too far behind to try and close in, so I think P10 is Yargamel's, and I think he should focus on staying ahead and just try and claim a P10, because I don't think there'll be no way of fighting back with Samid on that occasion.
So this is MDJ's last chance now to get Dragon to go into this. It's just going to close the gap. The gap Williams got a very good front end going into turn 1 there, but it's all about the S's. Sector 1 is crucial. Sector 1 is everything. Sector 1 is where you set up your overtake or not. How neat and tidy are these two? Very neat and tidy, to say the least. Go through the S's. NDJ now holding on. This is really good from NDJ. Let's see if he can get Dragon for P3 on the last lap of this race.
As we head down to turn 11, MDJ needs to focus on getting a decent exit out of here and use all the battery down the straight. Dragon, will he be weaving left and right to try and break the toe and try and prevent MDJ? No, he stayed on the racing line, but he moves to the left hand side, and MDJ takes P3 away. There's nothing that Dragon could do about that with the amount of ERS that MDJ saved when he closed up on the back of Dragon. As soon as he got inside the 1 second range of DRS, he just saved battery and sat there for a while, then made his move on the last lap. So MDJ takes the podium away from Dragon, and he'll finish in P4 for the second time this season. Unfortunately for the Alpha Tauri driver, but he's on a reserve driver this season. Dragon, he started to show his pace and looks like he's a contender to be on the podium while having race wins. And here comes Cesara, rounding off the final corner to win the USA Grand Prix. Glock will finish in P2 ahead of MDJ, and here comes the rest. Dragon in P4. Yeah, I forgot to do that for the entire race. There we go. As somebody mentioned in the comment section, and Laser gets ahead of Hurricane, the position changes and gained. And Simon's gained 10 of them from start at P19, and he will finish in P9 because Roguesmith did get disqualified during qualifying. Not a lot of position changes between Laser, Dragon, Glock, and Hazara. They all stayed where they started. Did those guys, but could be different for Drago, but unfortunately he didn't have the battery to defend from MDJ, and MDJ takes another podium in a very important championship battle, because I do believe Hazara may be a full-time driver now, and if he is, then it looks like we'll be closing on his championship fight too. But MDJ will extend his gap over Harry Kane, and Glock will try to make inroads on Harry Kane too in the championship, not being so far away. But Laser P5 for him, and he's dropping away from the championship too.
Wow, what an incredible race that was. Really good race. Not one of the best ones I thought I was predicting, but that was very, very strategical in that one. Well done to Yagamel. Shout out to him to get 13 laps done on the soft compound tyre to get a top 10 finish. Well done to him. Well done to the top 3 as well. And Azara, 3 through 3 every time he started on pole and gets a victory and the fastest lap. So really, perfect day for Hazara. You couldn't ask for a better day.
Very dominant drive indeed. I wonder how he does it, especially being on a pad, because it looks like he can connect with the apexes very nicely. He carries his speed, doesn't have troubles on the brakes, doesn't have trouble with overheated tyres. The setup is absolutely perfect for him, and yeah, I wonder how he does it indeed. And here are the drivers then. Here's Hazara, the Norwegian driver who dominated this whole race, and he may be a full-time driver now. So that might be a bit of a worry for other drivers. How are they going to stop him as well? Because it helped MDJ in the championship of constructors, as Williams were down and he was partners with MDJ too, as the reserve drivers' points does count for the constructors. So MDJ would have been very happy. But if he is contending for the championship this season, MDJ will be very nervous now with Hazara entering the scenes. He's a very quick driver, we've seen him, but yeah, we'll see if any other drivers can respond and try and stop Hazara winning. Glock, great drive. It was a very decent, quiet drive, it must be said, other than that 3-second tire penalty. So a drive maybe he needs, but yeah, can he do one better in the next race, try and score his first race of the season too? MDJ finishes a P3 ahead of Dragon, and Laser finishes a P5. Harry Kane P6, both Alpines 7th and 8th. Mackett, unfortunately strategy did not work from mediums to hards. Zamed in the P8 ahead of Yagamal, 18th to 9th, great drive from him. Langfeld P10 ahead of Martin, second time finished in 11th place. Smoke in P12 ahead of Nordis, Atlas in 14th, Lord Danny Boy 15th, JDM 16th, Bear Emmy in 17th, Zinum 18th, Adams 19th, and Rogue Smithy in 20th. Those are the 2 retirements in this race, and only 1 virtual safety car that came out through this race as well. So good stuff indeed, and we can talk to the podium drivers as well.
Yeah, to see the Discord is literally coming in, and yeah, the drivers are reacting to what's been happening today. Glock's been saying a very interesting comment there. He said, GG, good game. Can't compete with that level of pace. Hazara making a statement there on Glock there, which is very interesting to see. So, like I said, a bit of a worry now for these drivers now, because now with Hazara Richie emerging from the ranks, you never know. That driver, Hazara, could be assigning himself to a full-time drive, then, well, you see what happens. You definitely see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of drivers now starting to acknowledge the pace of Hazara, and it is very nervous indeed for all the drivers there who are competing for a championship, especially for MDJ does not want Hazara, or any driver doesn't want Hazara to be on the grid, because he's won 3 for 3 so far. Pole position, race win, and I don't even know if he's got a fastest lap or not. I think he did.
He did, yeah, he did.
Did he? Wow. Unbelievable scenes there. So Hazara will pick up a lot of points as MDJ has joined the party. Will go from P3 upwards. I don't think Glock has a mic, and we can start with MDJ. So MDJ, good race from you today, mate. Very clean, and the battle between you and Dragon this time is a lot more smoother than it was in Singapore, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot smoother than Singapore. I mean, in this race, it kind of sucked that I had to start from, I believe it was P7, and then had to fight my way forward while it's very hard to overtake and drive away on this track. So I would have rather start P2 or P1 and be able to drive away while DRS was not enabled, but that was not the case. So I had to do it on raw pace and also on strategy as well. If I didn't wait for the last lap to overtake Dragon, it would have never worked because Dragon would have got me on the last lap back on the straight. So my plan was just to overtake on the straight the last lap.
So with that, MDJ,
Sorry about that.
were you,
I was on mute. I
it's,
was on mute.
it's all right. So yeah, so with the pressure it comes at the end, were you just saving the overtake for the last lap, overtake on Dragon at the end?
Yeah, I was saving the overtake. Like as soon as I got in the DRS, I was saving. It was really hard to get in the DRS though, so I had to use everything. But once I was in the DRS, I was saving all my ERS to overtake.
And with the strategy today, of course, Azara absolutely dominant today. If we're going into a full-time drive, is he going to be a threat to the championship now? Do you think a little bit? Do you think you can hold him off if he does get a full-time drive?
I mean, if he gets a full-time drive, he will make life miserable for me. That's for sure. But I think I will make it hard for him as well. We had a lot of battles in the past, and I think in some tracks we are pretty similar. So I think maybe it would have been close in the championship at the end if he started right now.
And with Bahrain coming up, are you strong around Bahrain? Very good track mind for battles. Look forward to see how Division 1 goes through there. So what's Bahrain going to be like for you?
I just hope that my tires won't overheat and let me spin out and crash into a wall.
Hmm.
So I'm just hoping to finish the race. Don't have great experience around the track at the moment.
Great stuff
GG.
indeed. Great stuff indeed, DJ. And talk about Bahrain. Are you looking forward to the Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend, especially being a Dutchman yourself?
Maybe kind of. Like I said, for me, it's
Oh,
just
don't give me maybe kind. You know Max Verstappen's going to be dominating the race and all that in the real life world of Formula One.
yes, but I'm not Max Verstappen, am I?
I love that comeback.
I mean, I might be Dutch, but I'm not Max Verstappen. I might be like Nick de Vries and that sort of fucking kind of shit.
Well, fair enough. Thank you very much for that, MDJ. And Glock says, can't compete with that, like top tier of PSGL and WR, and within 6 seconds before pens. GG. Yeah, that was very tough indeed for people competing against Azara. But thanks, MDJ. Congrats on the podium, mate, and good luck for Bahrain.
Yeah, thank you.
And we've got our race for the party, presume, Hazara again.
Speaking of the wolf.
Hazara, you there?
Hi guys.
Hello, mate. You okay?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
I'm not too bad, thank you. So, what question shall I ask you?
I don't know. Anything.
How was the laid back? How's that laid back chair of yours? That literally leading the whole race today.
No, yeah, it was comfortable for sure. I enjoyed it. It was a pretty chill race actually. Not a lot
Yeah.
of things happened, but yeah. Sometimes I actually enjoy those drives. Leaves the heart rate at a lower level, shall we say?
Funny enough, Jamie was asking, how do you race a wheel or on the pad?
Yeah, I'm on a pad. Yeah.
How do you get that sort of pace on a pad? How do you do it?
I don't know. Just maybe. Obviously, a lot of practice. And I'm quite old as well, so I have a lot of experience. So I would say, yeah, just a lot of driving, a lot of yeah, just enjoying it, to be honest. And when you enjoy it, you usually become decent or good at something. So that's pretty much it. Just enjoying it and doing it over quite a long period of time now.
Yeah, but Glock, how long you been league racing for?
Me, I've been league racing for. Or are you asking Glock? You said?
No, you.
Oh, okay. I've been league racing for not too long, like 4 or 5 years, but I've been playing the game for a lot longer. I was playing the game like offline for probably a good, I want to say 13, 14 years.
Me too. But me and you started league racing together, and we grew up together league racing too. So
Yeah,
we were on a pad together, and I used to be faster than you. Now you're faster than you're much quicker than me. So
yeah,
it's just unbelievable how far you've come as well, especially being in ETA and being in big leagues as well. You really made a name for yourself. So yeah, you should be happy with the pace you've got as well, because I would love to watch you in other. I've seen you in other esports events, and you've been very quick there too. Managed to keep up with other esports drivers, and it's just incredible the pace you have as well. So you really, really stepped up the game over the past few years and found some remarkable pace to be in comparison, just to be up there in general. And Glock says 7 years for me. I'm playing online from the start of 2010 for reference. GG Hazara. Glock doesn't have a mic, and he's just said that to you, Hazara. But yeah, how do you practice a lot of the game? Have you put a lot of hours into it?
I have actually. This year, I've been enjoying the game a lot more than F122 was kind of a bad game for me, so I didn't. I mean, I always enjoyed driving, but just I wasn't very good at it, like compared to now. So it was kind of fewer hours, but then I realized this game, I had a chance to maybe compete for something bigger, and I've put a. I mean, it's pretty much the only game I play. Like, I might dabble into some other games, but I haven't played anything else really seriously other than Formula One. So mm, yeah, just quite a few hours. I don't want to check how many because it will probably scare me because it's quite a few. But yeah, I can tell you it's quite a few. No.
If someone's been racing as long as you in league racing, I'm not really that quick, and I quit league racing in 2022. Hence why I became a full-time commentator for esports events and other leagues. But I came back to racing, and in 2023, and it doesn't just can't have the same pace as you despite practicing. So yeah, it's amazing how far people could come, even on controllers as well. Because having that pace of controller is just another level.
Yeah, I mean everything is like is about practicing basically. If you spend enough time doing something, you will become good at it. And yeah, I mean, it's like second nature at this point, playing on a controller. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, how do you do it?" But I'm telling you, if you had put in the same amount of hours as me, I'm sure you would be on my level, if not even better, because we remember how fast you were back on like F1 2019. So yeah, there is no doubt you would be equally great, if not greater, if you were driving.
Thanks, Cesar, for those last words, mate. I appreciate that.
So
Yeah, no
Belgium,
worries.
are you racing in Belgium?
Bahrain.
No, not Belgium. Yeah, Bahrain. Begins with a B, doesn't it? So yeah, Bahrain. What's happening for Bahrain then? You racing?
Yeah, if I can get a seat, I will be racing, hopefully. Yeah, Bahrain is an historically pretty good track for me, and I actually have a league race there in WR on Friday, so this time I'll be like fairly well prepared if I get to drive. So
Um, Me too as well, but not in WOR in a different league. So I'll be league racing this Sunday in Bahrain too. So I can give you some track knowledge for Tuesday. But yeah, congratulations on the win again, and good luck for next week, and good luck for WOR. I'm pretty sure you do well there again. And
And
Oliver,
enjoy. Yeah, about to say, enjoy F1 for Saturday.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It's on a Saturday this time. Something new.
yeah, it is on
Yeah,
Saturday. Yeah, I was wondering what you're talking about.
yeah. No, thank you, guys.
Anyways, thank you, Oliver, for commentating to me again, mate. Been an absolute pleasure once again.
Oh, brilliant! Looking forward to seeing the conversation you gave in Belgium. Stop saying Belgium on Bahrain. It begins with darn bees. Yeah, Bahrain. I look forward to see you again in Bahrain. I need to get Belgium on my head right now.
Alright then, so tune in for next Tuesday at 7:30 at the Bahrain Grand Prix. But we also got the Bahrain Grand Prix on Saturday for the actual F1 race. We'll see if Max Verstappen continues his dominance. We'll see you all later for next Tuesday. Goodbye for now.